Someone is holding on to you because you taught them how love stays. Not the loud kind of love that announces itself in grand gestures or dramatic promises, but the quiet, steady kind that knows how to sit beside someone when words run out. The kind of love that doesn't disappear when the excitement fades or when life becomes heavy and inconvenient. You showed them that love can be patient without being weak, loyal without being possessive, deep without being suffocating. And once someone learns that kind of love, it changes the way they breathe, the way they hope, the way they believe in connection. They are holding on to you because you didn't just say you cared, you proved it in moments that seemed small at the time. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. You listened when their thoughts were tangled and messy, when they didn't even know how to explain what hurt. You remembered details they thought no one noticed. You showed up consistently, not perfectly, but honestly. That consistency taught them that love is not about intensity alone, but about endurance. About choosing, again and again, to remain present. You taught them that love doesn't vanish at the first sign of conflict. You showed them that misunderstandings don't have to become endings. That disagreements don't mean abandonment. You stayed calm when things got uncomfortable, or at least you tried. And even when you failed, you came back, you apologized, you repaired. That taught them something powerful. Love is not the absence of problems, but the willingness to work through them without threatening to leave every time things get hard. Someone is holding on to you because you made them feel safe being themselves. You didn't demand perfection. You didn't ask them to shrink, perform, or pretend. You allowed them to be human, confused, emotional, uncertain, growing. You didn't weaponize their vulnerabilities or use their past against them. Instead, you treated their fears gently. You understood that everyone carries wounds, and you didn't punish them for bleeding. That kind of acceptance leaves a mark. It creates a sense of home that can't easily be replaced. They are holding on to you because you showed them that love can be steady without being boring. That routine can be romantic when it's built on care. You taught them that checking in matters. That consistency can feel like devotion. That being reliable is one of the most attractive forms of love there is. You didn't just chase sparks, you built warmth. And warmth lasts longer than fire. You taught them how love stays on the days when nothing exciting happens. On the days when life feels repetitive, exhausting, or dull. You stayed engaged even when there was no thrill to chase. You laughed at the same jokes, shared quiet moments, and found comfort in silence. You showed them that love doesn't need constant stimulation to survive. Sometimes, it just needs presence. That lesson sinks deep, because most people are taught that love must always feel intense to be real. You showed them that calm can also mean deep. Someone is holding on to you because you didn't treat love like a transaction. You didn't keep score. You didn't withdraw affection as punishment. You didn't make them earn your kindness every day. You gave because you wanted to, not because you expected something in return. That kind of generosity changes people. It teaches them that love is not a battlefield where one must constantly defend their worth. It's a shared space where both can rest. They are holding on to you because you believed in them, sometimes more than they believed in themselves. You saw potential where they saw only flaws. You encouraged them without trying to control who they became. You celebrated their growth without feeling threatened by it. You didn't compete with their dreams, you supported them. And when someone feels truly supported, they don't forget the person who made them feel capable and seen at the same time. You taught them that love can be gentle. That it doesn't have to hurt to be meaningful. That chaos is not the same as passion. You showed them that stability doesn't mean stagnation, and peace doesn't mean boredom. You redefined love for them, especially if they came from experiences where love was unpredictable, conditional, or painful. When someone finally experiences love that feels calm and secure, it becomes a standard. And standards are not easily lowered. Someone is holding on to you because you showed them what emotional availability looks like. You didn't shut down when things got real. You didn't disappear when vulnerability was required. You talked about feelings, even when it was uncomfortable. You asked questions, you cared about their inner world, not just the version of them that was easy to love. That taught them that intimacy is not just physical closeness, but emotional honesty. And once someone experiences that depth, shallow connections feel empty. They are holding on to you because you made them feel chosen. Not just once, but repeatedly. You chose them in ordinary moments, in difficult conversations, in times of doubt. You didn't make them feel like an option or a backup plan. You made them feel intentional. That kind of certainty is rare. When someone feels truly chosen, they stop questioning their worth in the relationship. They stop bracing for abandonment. They start believing in something lasting. You taught them how love stays by being accountable. You owned your mistakes. You didn't hide behind pride or excuses. You showed them that being wrong doesn't mean being unlovable. That growth is possible when two people are willing to reflect and change. That lesson creates trust. And trust is one of the strongest reasons someone holds on. Someone is holding on to you because you respected their boundaries. You didn't push when they needed space. You didn't guilt them for needing time. You understood that love doesn't mean constant access. That respect taught them that love can coexist with individuality. That they don't have to lose themselves to be loved. When someone feels respected, they feel valued on a deeper level. They are holding on to you because you showed them patience. You didn't rush their healing. You didn't demand they be ready before they were. You allowed them to unfold at their own pace. You stayed curious instead of judgmental. That patience taught them that love can wait, that it doesn't need to pressure or rush to prove its worth. And patience is one of the clearest signs of real care. You taught them how love stays by being emotionally consistent. They didn't have to guess where they stood with you. Your words matched your actions. Your affection wasn't unpredictable. That consistency created security. And security creates attachment that is deep, not desperate. Healthy, not fearful. Someone is holding on to you because you brought light into their life without demanding to be the center of it. You enhanced their world instead of replacing it. You supported their friendships, their interests, their independence. You didn't isolate them or make them feel guilty for having a life beyond you. That balance taught them that love is not about control, but about companionship. They are holding on to you because you made them feel understood. Truly understood. You listened between the lines. You noticed changes in their tone, their energy, their silence. You cared enough to ask, and patient enough to wait for the answer. Feeling understood is one of the deepest human needs. When someone feels seen on that level, it creates a bond that is hard to break. You taught them how love stays by choosing kindness, even when emotions ran high. You didn't aim to win arguments, you aimed to protect the connection. You remembered that the person in front of you mattered more than being right. That taught them that love is not about dominance, but about partnership. Someone is holding on to you because you gave them hope. Not false hope, but steady belief. You made them believe that lasting love is possible. That not everyone leaves. That not every connection is temporary. You became proof that commitment can exist without suffocation, that loyalty can exist without control. Once someone believes that, they hold on to the person who showed them. They are holding on to you because you made love feel like a place, not a performance. A place where they could rest, grow, and return to themselves. You made love feel grounding, familiar, safe. And people don't easily let go of what feels like home. You taught them how love stays by being real. Not idealized, not perfect, not flawless, but real. You showed up as yourself and allowed them to do the same. You didn't pretend to have all the answers. You learned together. That authenticity created trust, and trust creates attachment that is not easily shaken. Someone is holding on to you because your presence changed something in them. It softened parts that were hardened by past disappointments. It healed parts they didn't even know were wounded. It raised their expectations of how they deserve to be treated. Once someone's standards rise, they don't easily settle for less. They are holding on to you because you taught them that love doesn't have to be exhausting. That it can feel like support instead of struggle. That it can feel like collaboration instead of competition. That lesson is powerful, especially in a world that romanticizes chaos. You taught them how love stays by being emotionally generous. You shared your time, your attention, your care. You didn't make them beg for affection. You gave it freely. That generosity made them feel worthy of love, not like they had to earn it constantly. Someone is holding on to you because you didn't just love them in words, but in ways that mattered to them. You learned their language of love. You adjusted. You paid attention. That effort made them feel valued, not just liked. They are holding on to you because you made space for growth. You didn't fear change. You encouraged evolution. You understood that people grow, and love must grow with them. That flexibility taught them that love can adapt without breaking. You taught them how love stays by being emotionally brave. You faced difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. You addressed issues instead of burying them. That courage created depth. And depth creates bonds that go beyond surface attraction. Someone is holding on to you because you treated love as something sacred, not disposable. You didn't threaten to leave every time things got tough. You didn't treat the connection as easily replaceable. That commitment, even when unspoken, created security. They are holding on to you because you showed them that love can be both strong and soft. That it can protect without controlling. That it can care deeply without losing itself. That balance is rare, and rare things are cherished. You taught them how love stays by being emotionally present. You weren't always perfect, but you were there. And presence, more than perfection, is what people remember. Someone is holding on to you because loving you taught them something about themselves. It taught them they are capable of deeper connection. That they can be loved without being broken down. That they don't have to chase love, it can meet them halfway. They are holding on to you because you became a reference point. A reminder of what real care feels like. Even if circumstances change, even if paths shift, that lesson remains. You taught them how love stays, and once someone learns that, they don't easily let go of the one who taught them. Because you didn't just love them, you changed the way they understand love itself. You taught them how love stays, and that lesson doesn't fade with time or distance. It settles quietly inside them, reshaping what they tolerate, what they seek, what they believe they deserve. Long after moments blur and words are forgotten, the feeling remains. The knowing that love can be steady, kind, and real. And that is why someone is holding on to you, even if silently, even if from afar. Because you didn't just pass through their life. You left them changed. You became the proof that love doesn't always burn fast and disappear. Sometimes, it stays, and because of you, they will never accept anything less again.